Good afternoon, friends. Stephen Benoon here with Israeli News Live. Got a number of little things I want to cover here with you, and also let you know we had one delay because of an interview we're doing with Colonel Greg Ranchich, which will air on Patreon. It'll be airing there on our early release program starting tomorrow, and that will be the beginning of our marathon, 5 days there. We'll run it through the end of the month here. And so we hope you will join us on our Patreon channel, patreon.com/Israeli News Live there. We do not support Israel's genocide of Gaza. That's something we have on our Twitter account, Israeli News Live, at Stephen Denoon. It's under my pen name that I write books under, which I haven't forgot about you guys in the book I've been working on. Still finding the time is the big problem to try to finish that, and I think I am going to take on that redemption series as well. It's a book that you guys need. If I'm here or not, you need it. So let's begin here with the different things here. I want to really thank Charles Hodge on his Twitter channel there. You might want to check him out. Let me just real quick go to Charles's. He's at 94C2500. He's always sharing some amazing good things here. This was Mahmoud Abbas speaking at an Arab summit there. I want you to see what he says. He's very angry at Hamas, not just Israel, but Hamas as well. But let's listen in.
محاولات تغيير الوضع التاريخي والقانوني في الأماكن المقدسة الإسلامية والمسيحية، وبالذات في المسجد الأقصى المبارك الذي هو جزء لا يتجزأ من عقيدتنا الدينية وهويتنا الوطنية ووجودنا الممتد لآلاف السنين في أرض وطننا التاريخي فلسطين، والذي يتعرض لأبشع مؤامرة من جانب الاحتلال حيث يتداولون التحريض على تدميره وبناء معبد يهودي فيه. بالقرآن الكريم واعتقد في باقي الكتب السماوية المعابد كانت في اليمن. اللي بيحب يقرأ الدين.
I do want to say I've never heard that the First and Second Temple of Israel was actually in Yemen. That is something of a first for me. And he claims other books also wrote it besides the Quran. I'll have to check that out just out of curiosity. I can see where he'd get the idea of the wilderness tent of meeting, because that was in Saudi Arabia, not Yemen, but Saudi Arabia. But it's what he says next that's really interesting. Listen.
الأولوية الأولى وقف حرب الإبادة الإسرائيلية التي يتعرض لها قطاع غزة. هذه فعلا يجب أن تتوقف. كل يوم في مئات القتلى. ليش الناس نسلم الرهينة الأمريكية؟ طب يا أولاد الكلب سلموا اللي عندكم هدول وخلصونا من الشغلة. سدوا ذرائعهم. سدوا ذرائعهم. هذه إلنا وهذه إلنا وهذه معبد.
Notice what he said there at the right there near the end. Let's see here if I can get that part there. Deprive the Israelis of their pretext. He called Hamas sons of, well, you know what, and he does say that in the Arabic language there. He says, release the hostages you're holding and rid us of this thing, this pretext that they have. Deprive the Israelis of their pretext. The pretext to slaughter the Palestinian people is what he's referring to. I didn't listen to the rest of it. Let's see. Solomon's temple was, I am telling you, a large part of history is falsified. Whoa, I didn't see this part. Let's play it.
واللي بيقرأ القرآن بيعرف. وكل الشكر إلى جلالة الملك سلمان بن عبد العزيز ملك المملكة العربية السعودية وولي العهد ورئيس الوزراء سمو الأمير محمد بن سلمان على مواقفهم الشجاعة والرافضة للتطبيع مع إسرائيل واشتراط ذلك بقيام دولة فلسطينية. كتر ألف خير. هذا شكرا له.
So he is saying that Saudi Arabia has rejected normalizing ties with Israel until they accept a Palestinian state. They just want to kill as many Gazans as they can, Palestinians as they can, and make their state so tiny and small that nobody could absolutely live there. So that's sad.
الأمريكان هذول يلعن أبوهم. أنا مش يعني زعيم عربي كبير، أنا زعلطي هالقد 33 مرة قلت له لا.
Wow. He told America the HELL with you 33 times, and he says, and I'm a nobody. Well, he's got some courage. Yasser Arafat met a very dismal fate because of him making that stand that he did. And I didn't think very highly of Yasser Arafat either because of the evils that went on there. This here, though, Israel has turned Gaza into the most densely contaminated place in modern history. Watch and learn what U.S. tax dollars are paying for. Charles Hodges also shared this. Linda Mumaun publishing this right here. Video of the Gaza. There are more than 4,000 unexploded ordnances in Gaza. More than 4,000. So just the dismantling of all these warheads is going to be unbelievably dangerous. Not a job you would want to be able to do. I can promise you that. And children subjected to these, so many children maimed and crippled and everything else. It is the worst tragedy I've ever seen in my life. In all the life I've ever lived, I've never seen anything so evil or hideous as what Israel has done to Gaza. And it's made me ashamed of even saying that I am Jewish in the first place, or Jewish descent. So, very sad. And then you get this right here. Adam at AdamMedia.com, or Adam Media, shared this on his Twitter page. An Israeli band broadcast images of Gaza genocide during a concert in front of a euphoric crowd. That's just so horrible to see such images coming out. And then you get this right here. You get this John Fetterman, senator, Democrat senator with the Washington Free Beacon, stated that Trump's administration should drop the ongoing nuclear talks with Iran and launch a military strike against their nuclear facilities. Waste that SHI you-know-what, and said Fetterman, with him adding, you're never going to be able to negotiate with that kind of regime. Israel's done a very good job. It was the Iranians that gave up all the targets, high-profile targets to Israel to be able to kill them all off. It was the Iranians that helped plant all those explosive devices in the pagers and give them to Hezbollah. So think about it. And not to mention, they are a nuclear power, whether you want to admit it or not. India diplomats have confirmed that Israel has supplied the Indian MOD with precision-guided missiles within the past 24 hours. And of course, the reason for that is because there is clear trouble brewing right now with Pakistan and of course with India. And this is the Pakistani defense minister here, to your right here on the screen here. And it is definitely, as he puts in this thing here, very, very, very serious, Mr. Asif, very serious situation between India and pushing towards an attack on Pakistan. And clearly India is definitely making the situation very tense there with Pakistan. This also popped up here, thanks to Charles there, shared this video here. This is India cutting off the water supplies on the dams to Pakistan. 4 different dams shut down to where the water is barely trickling even through there. They're going to keep playing with fire. Pakistan be dropping bombs on their dams and making sure the water can steadily flow through instead of doing the way that they're doing at this point here. So it's just really sad to see all this evil going on, so at any rate, it's an alarming situation. The Anti-Defamation League says anger at Israel is now the driving force behind anti-Semitism in the U.S. It is. It's what's causing the protests, and I think Israel knows that. Israel wanted that. Israel is leveraging that type of anti-Semitism right now to be able to justify the Noahide law system that they want to bring out, to ban the Christian Bible. There's so much they're going to use, and of course it is the pro-Zionist forces that are arming Israel to be able to carry out those types of things and push Trump into passing, as the Sanhedrin has asked him, to an international Noahide court. So I can only imagine, just a matter of time, it's coming there. I know some people have written me about Lifewave wanting to be able to either become a brand partner where they can as well sell the X39 patches, especially people that have been using them. I talked to a lady today. She was telling me she had some really good success. She said, I didn't wear it consistently, but when I did, she said, I clearly had a reduction of inflammation. She says, I really would like to be a brand partner. And I haven't really spoke about this in a while, but I will tell you, I got one right now, an X39 on each one of my shoulders. I was getting to where when I went to take my shirt off, right, if I was going to pull it up like that, I could not lift my hands above my head. I couldn't do it. The pain was so great, and literally, and let me just, I'm not going to undress here in front of everybody, but, I think I can show you here. Yep, let's see there. I don't know how well you guys can see that. I put a patch, an X39 patch, on the top of each shoulder. And I've tried everything. I've done DMSO. I've done, I've rubbed my shoulders with magnesium and DMSO, pulling it in. But I still, when I would go in the evening to try to pull my shirt off, I couldn't get my hands above my head. And now, no problem. I put them on, and after the first day, the pain had already subsided. And then I just left them on. In fact, I forgot to take them off. You're supposed to do 12 hours on, 12 hours off, but I left them on for like 48 hours. Took them off, give it a night's rest, put them back on again, and I've done it now 3 times in a row, and I have no pain any longer. And raising my hands above my head, absolutely no problem at all. So the testimonies are just endless, and we get them from our friends as well. So if you want to order, you can just go there, you can shop. The only thing I'll say, because I want to, for sake of time, if you decide to shop in there and you want it, let's say you're going to order just X39, it's up to you, whatever you want to order. I think X39 and Neon is really good. I do know they got this 15% off Alavita Generation Trio Revive Eye Cream. John Moore uses that, him and his wife. That's a pretty good deal, I'm sure. But I would just recommend the X39 if you're just going to become a preferred customer. When you order it, just as a reminder, it's retail $149, but you can get it for as low as $99.95. When you add it to your cart and you become what they call a preferred customer. When you click on that cart, and this is just so you'll know, once you go to the cart and you're going to check out, that's where you become a preferred customer to save the money, and that just puts you on auto ship. And listen, I've done this for over a year. I think you should commit to a year. Honestly and truly, the benefits for me didn't show up for 8 months. I've got one guy right now, he's 4 months in, and he's like, Steve, but he said several strokes, and he said, I'm still waiting for something to happen. And I told him, I said, look, people that I know that have had amazing results from strokes, wasn't somebody I knew personally, but Jason knew them. It took 8 months. I said, you got to give it the time. But there's so many amazing testimonies, it's worth trying. If you want to do it as a brand partner, you can email me at banoonx39@gmail. I'll put that in the link below for you. But if you're doing it and you just want to join, if you think you're going to end up wanting to sell the product, then I would at least join as a core. That's $295. They give you the product. You get it you get cheaper than a brand partner, cheaper than a preferred customer even. And the higher up you go, the less expensive it is. But you can email me, BennoonX39, and I'll talk to you about that later. Anyway, our link is lifewave.com/Bennoon. It's in the description below, and it's also on our website. And by the way, on our website, you got Israeli News Live. You got Lifewave on there, direct link there, and EMP Shield. That's something everybody should have as an EMP Shield, at least on your car. Anyway, I'm Stephen Bennoon. Thank you for listening, and God bless you.